Henry, how do you see this going for Chelsea if this news is true that Enzo is on his way in?
I think it's a massive, massive gamble, to be honest. I do agree with what Staffy's saying, though. Managers need a chance. And I agree that it is a little bit of a myth because until you get that chance, you're never really going to know what someone's like at the elite level. But what you just said there with regards to a plan is kind of where I'm sitting on this because you Pochettino, I think, to finish 6th and get a Europa League position, considering where he was in December.
Conference League.
Sorry. Or to get, finish 6th in the league, but get Conference League is considering where they were, is a remarkable turnaround. Unfortunate events, Man United go and win the FA Cup. Chelsea get demoted into the Conference League. I don't think it's a bad first season, but now it's like, how much pressure is going to be on and how much time is going to be given to, is it Enzo Maresca is his name? If he doesn't perform immediately, I don't see them giving him more than a season. I mean, what you just said there with regards to if the relationship's already fallen down, if I was going into that club, that wouldn't give me any confidence whatsoever. And that's why I feel they haven't gone for a big name. Like the managers have been linked to, I mean, yes, De Zerbi's kind of medium size, but he's not an elite manager. And who's the Ipswich manager? McKenna was also linked. So it's almost like they want to try their own kind of give a young manager time, develop players and go their own way. But for me, it's a massive gamble. Like if you want to get top 4 next season, I'll be honest, I'll say it right now. I don't think Chelsea will get top 4. This manager's managed one season in the Championship, unproven, but at the same time, he does need time, which is why I said McKenna should go Brighton. I said this on Friday's show with KJ and Jaws on the squad. That's your kind of next step up. Going to Chelsea is massive step up. And if it doesn't work, where does that leave Chelsea? Does that leave them their fourth manager in 3 years? For me,
well, the one question I'd throw out to Staffy, I want to throw this back at you, Staffy. I get your point.
Too many question marks.
I get your point that I've got a feeling that whether it's McKenna, but there are some really talented managers in there. It's another 2-year deal. Is that a concern that he's only getting given initially 2 years again?
It's not enough time.
I'll tell you why. I feel like a lot of I feel like a lot of managers right now are being handed shorter term contracts. Hansi Flick, as an example, just got the job at Barcelona. You know, they handed him a 2-year contract, right? So he's another example. And we all rate Hansi Flick, at least most of us, I would assume. And he just only got a 2-year. I feel like there's a whole thing right now with all big clubs because we've seen a lot of rotation with managers, I should say, in the last few years where they don't want to do what United's been doing, as an example. We paid David Moyes for how many years until finally he got his pay? Like, I swear we were paying him until 2021. That's how much we put managers on a lot of big contracts that they didn't fulfill it. And I feel like because everyone is more on like the broke side right now of football, because football, let's be honest, the last 3 years, a lot of revenue has been lost throughout the clubs. They're all being less risky with giving out big contracts to managers. They're doing the same thing at Barcelona. Obviously, even Ten Hag is only on a 3-year. Poch was on a 2-year, I believe. If Duncan correct me, you know, there's not a lot of managers.
But we gave Potter 5. Just on that stuff, we gave Potter 5 years, bro. That's why we learned our lesson because we had to pay him out.
Oh, did you give
over 12 million or something?
I could swear there was another manager that just had a short-term contract. But you know what I mean? Even Ten Hag is on a 3-year contract. So I wouldn't necessarily say that's a concern. If anything, I would praise that as a move because they're basically telling you, we'll give you 2 years. Yeah, we'll give you 2 years. Go earn yourself another contract. If you do well in the first year or in the first 18 months, we'll give you a new contract right away. But if you don't, then there's not a lot of risk involved. Because in 2 years we'll get another manager.
You don't think though, from the manager's perspective, it's not like, well, hang on, if I don't perform, I'm at the door immediately. Like with Ange, we gave him a 4-year contract with 1 year potential extension for a further year. Like I get both sides of the argument, but if the manager's coming in and knowing that there's only a 2-year deal there, I don't think the club are looking at the new manager and thinking he's a long-term option. Like, I guess if you perform, you will get a new deal, but
it can be long term.
Just on the first notion, it wouldn't give me huge confidence. I'm not going to lie.
No, but equally, Henry, I feel like if they come in and they offer him a 5-year contract right away, I think we'd all criticize Chelsea. We'd be like, why are you giving an unproven manager such a lengthy contract? Because how many times do we say that players and managers they kind of get complacent because they know they're making that amount of money, so they have nothing to prove anymore. They know if they get sacked, they're getting paid. Remember, what was his name? Brendan Rodgers, when he didn't get sacked for the longest at Leicester before they got relegated, is because everyone said he was on a big contract. I think if he got sacked that season, he was going to get 20 million. So they didn't sack him because they knew he was about to get big money anyways. And at some point, I feel like he gave up. So he was just like vibing it out there. And we'll criticize the club for that move. We criticized them for not being able to sack the manager. When you're on a 2-year contract, even if they have to sack him after 1 year, let's just say he does horribly in the first year, they'll look at the financials that they have to pay him in the summer. They'll be like, you know what? It's not that much. Let's just get rid of him so we don't have to get stuck with him in another year because clearly it hasn't worked. So it could be a double-edged sword. Honestly, it could work well or it can't.
Yeah, I hear that. One second, Gal. I'll come back to you in a sec, bro. Don, from your perspective, obviously, I know your number one choice out of the pool you were linked to was De Zerbi, but it does appear now that it's going to be Enzo's. Two Enzos at your club. How are you feeling about it from a Chelsea fan's point of view? Are you excited about the potential of this appointment? I mean, listening to something from Guillaume Balaguer the other day, and there's a lot of people sort of out there in the footballing world that absolutely rave about this guy. He worked under Pep Guardiola as an example. There's a lot of people coming out of his his native Italy talking him up as one of the top up and coming young managers. How do you see it personally?
Yeah, no, listen, first of all, for me, like obviously when I saw it, I was a bit disappointed because for me, my first choice is De Zerbi. I think for me, the main thing why I wanted De Zerbi is because I'm more familiar with him. Obviously, we watch Brighton, like they're in the league. We know more about De Zerbi from what he did last year, what he's done this year. I don't know much about Maresca. That's where I've gone and done my research because I've seen a lot of people online jumping at it saying, oh, you know, why are we looking at a championship manager? What's he going to do? Why sack Poch to go and bring this guy? You know, there's a lot of people like Will saying, go get a big name. And for me, consistently this season, Terry, I've told you, listen, Poch doesn't know how to work with these players. We need to bring a coach who knows how to work with the players that we've got. And that's exactly what they're trying to do with Maresca. You know, and I've been watching quite a lot of clips and whatnot on Wisecout of how he builds up from the back. That's one of the key things that I want in our team in order to attack and break down low blocks. And for me, bro, it's very similar to what Poch was doing towards the end of the season. He inverts a fullback a lot. Normally, it's the right-hand side where he inverts. He likes playing a 4-3-3. And again, doing similar things to what Poch was doing with like 2 8s and helping them crash the box. So it's quite similar to what we were seeing in pre-season and what we're seeing towards the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? And he's obviously worked with Lavia and Palmer when he was at Man City as well. And he's come from Pep. The main difference between him and Arteta is that he's actually had a little bit of experience after leaving Man City, whereas Arteta went straight into the job. You know what I'm saying? So end of the day, like I've said 1,000,001 times, the way Poch made the job look, he made it look like it was rocket science. Yeah, when this guy kept making basic errors. Me and Igal could have done a better job than Poch, if I'm being real. Yeah, if it was at Chelsea last season.
You're lying
this guy,
to yourself.
That's a lot of
doing
praise
a
for
madness.
Igal.
You're lying to yourself,
So for me,
man. Pochettino did decent.
For me, yeah, bro, he did decent towards the end, but he should have been doing that
Pochettino
from
could have
early
got
on.
top 4. He still would have got sacked based on what the briefings were. It had nothing to do with.
He could have got top 4 if he did. He could have got top 4 if he changed his tactics a bit early on in the season. Like you're saying, you're right.
Clearly,
you know what I mean? So,
clearly, they briefed the media that he wasn't sacked because of footballing reasons. He was sacked. He was sacked because of disagreements with the board.
There's multiple reasons why he was sacked. Bro.
No, they said there was a whole review, Igal. They had
there was multiple reasons why.
Yeah. The reality is these stories came out after he was sacked, but during the time when you guys were getting into Europe, everything was all positive around Chelsea.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There was a 6-hour review. You think in the 6-hour review they just told him, by the way, yeah, we disagreed on transfers. You're gone. No, there was more said in 6 hours. It's a whole 6-hour review.
Yeah, like they looked at the whole season. It's a 38-game season. Like winning 5 games at the end of the season and just about scraping 6th. And now we're playing Conference League as well. Just goes to show how badly this guy did. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Man's going to be going to Gibraltar and Malta and these sort of places because of
Kosovo, you know bro, Albania.
You guys genuinely...
Hold on, Igal. For me, Igal, like I've said, I'm not going to judge the guy until I actually see him at the club, right? From what I've seen and the style of football, from what I've seen, the style of football that he plays, I do think it's going to suit the players that we've got. The main thing that I'm a bit skeptical about is just the pressure aspect of the job, right? The little intangibles in the game, right? The fact that obviously he's coming from Leicester now, taking that step up to a Chelsea. You know what I mean? But listen, the managers that are out at the minute, bro, this is the route that a lot of clubs are going down. A lot of clubs are going down this route now, trying to find their guy that they can build with and that they can grow with. You know what I mean? So for me, like I said, the main thing that we needed is a competent coach. Yeah. Everyone's trying to bet Arteta's model because he ain't won nothing with his Avengers. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. But end of the day, yeah, what this guy's trying, what we need right now is a competent coach.
Oh, 1 second.
Listen, you man are just happy to be up there, man. You ain't won nothing, man. Relax. You relax. You ain't won nothing.
Yeah. But
you're saying that up there right now. And that's what we're trying to do. But we're trying to actually get over the line. That's what we do over here.
We can. Yeah, we're on YouTube. We can give each other banter about football, but when we keep it real, your board are striving to get back into challenging and being in positions where they can compete for major honors. And with a manager who has previously worked under Pep, looking at a young team, trying to build it from the ground up, it is how football works. And you know what? It is a copycat system. So you guys are similar. You guys are trying to do a similar thing, maybe in your own way. But there's no shame in that. Like, why are you offended by the fact that
I'm not offended by it? I'm not offended. I'm just saying that we're taking your idea. We're taking your little idea, but we're trying to up it, bro. We're trying to elevate it. Same way that Man City took a little leaf out of Chelsea book, but they elevated it and they did what they did. They dominated. You know what I mean? So end of the day, cool. Whatever you did with Arteta, cool. It worked for you guys, but you're yet to get over the line. And Man United right now have won 2 titles. They've won 2 FA Cups even. Sorry, they've won 2 trophies even, whilst you lot are still struggling to get over the line. So
I'm confused. Rewind. You said it's worked for us. But in the same 1 second, in one breath you said it worked for us, in the other breath you're saying we haven't won anything. So which one is it? Has it worked or has not worked? What is it?
Bro, I'm talking about in the fact that you're now up there challenging, right? It's put you in a position that you weren't in before.
Okay, so you're trying to give backhanded compliments. It's not going to work.
Taking Arteta on and helping him do what he's doing at the minute.
I mean, but 2 things could be right though, Igal. Like Arsenal have not won anything really underneath Arteta in the 4.5 years, except for the FA Cup with Unai Emery's squad. But then on the other hand, it's you guys are now competing. But I think what Don's saying is, I think it's pretty spot on. Like 2 things are correct here.
I'm just trying to throw a shot at what he was talking about, because if this was Chelsea, best believe Don would be blowing it up as a big achievement, or this team is doing so well, so great from where they were. But the fact that it's somebody else, he's going to belittle it.
No, I wouldn't, Igal. I'm sorry. Me and you are different. I've grown up winning things, bro. I've grown up seeing my team winning.
So I haven't grown up winning things.
Challenging, and I'm excited about that, bro. Yeah, I'm excited about actually winning trophies, bro. Yeah, don't try to say I would be the same way if I saw my team competing and we can't get over the line.
I see you on a weekly basis on streams.
Relax. We're not the same, bro. I've grown up. You're very tribalistic. You have to see or touch, bro. Stop this.
Done. There's nothing wrong with tribalism. You're a Chelsea fan. You're tribalistic. If it was Chelsea, you'd paint it in a different brush. That's just a fact.
No, I wouldn't, Igal, because I've grown up watching my team winning stuff, bro. What have
we've seen you this season, bro. We've seen you this season.
You can't try to tell me that I would act like you where Arsenal are right now when I've grown up seeing my team winning, bro. I'm sorry, we're not the same. So stop doing this.
Don,
you know what I mean?
This season, have some self-awareness. This season, you were in 10th, 11th, making fun of Man United and Arsenal. And you're talking about, I would act different.
Fun of Arsenal. What are you even talking about? Making fun of Arsenal where?
This season, have you not been doing that? Come on, Don. You're better than this.
Of course I'm shameless for you not getting over the line. I know what you are.
My point is, understand your situation. You guys are rebuilding. I'm not even making fun of Chelsea right now. I'm just saying, if you were in this situation where you were competing for a league, you had a young team coming up, you'd be more optimistic and you'd be gassed. You are currently 4 years behind us in your stage, and you're talking with lip. It's crazy to me.
I can't relate to this trophyless argument. Honestly.
I'm about to say, I don't know what it's like to be winning trophies. You know, imagine
you won 2 years in a row, but you guys were trophyless for 6 years.
Imagine, but we're not anymore. Imagine having your worst Premier League season ever and picking up a just beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. It's a rare thing of beauty. I love it. I'm being shameless. Anyway, I don't care. Some super chats here about the situation that we're on. This says here, there are also more managers like Gary Neville, Staffy, saying about your unexperienced comment earlier. There's a lot of inexperienced managers that also foul. What's your sort of thoughts on that?
Well, that actually proves my point even more. I'm just saying, don't rule out these managers before they take over the job. Because as much as there's the likes of Gary Neville, Frank Lampard, them that didn't do well, there's ones that actually did decent. even though you haven't won anything, like the likes of Arteta. Even Oli did a decent job and just didn't win
Arteta won
anything.
something, by the
And
way.
then, bro, I'm talking about after the rebuild, Igal. Just allow it. You know what I mean? I'm talking about
You
after
just
rebuilding.
picked up a trophy that you won. We won the same trophy.
Igal, that was not the point that I made earlier.
I
Forget
know,
about
but
the
that's my
trophy.
point.
We won a League Cup last year as well.
I'm
Yeah,
big.
but you're
I'm saying there's managers who made a step up for the first time in a top flight team that did either horribly or did decent, didn't win anything, but they at least played good football.
Yeah.
And then there's ones that actually became generational, like Pep and Zidane. So we have
But do you
examples
think-
of everything. So my point is, give someone a chance before you judge them.
100%.
But why should they get a
Also-
chance?
That's
But
it.
also
That's
give
main
them the
thing,
right
bro.
environment. Give them the right environment. Try to work with them.
Of
and
course,
try to
but
be,
that's the context around it, guy. Obviously,
But-
everyone's
yeah, but
environment is
Igal,
different.
I don't think Chelsea have been trying to do that.
The thing. Yeah, but Igal though, the thing that I don't get though, yeah, you're talking like right now, we've got all these players that want to leave the club. They're not happy at the club.
I never
That's
said
what
that.
Potter walked into, right? That's what Graham Potter walked into. He should have never been the guy to take over from Tuchel because that was a big job. But like I've said to Terry this season, I said if Potter had this team that we've got this year, I think it does a lot better than Poch because tactically, I think it's better than Poch, right? A big reason why we finished where we finished this season.
Okay,
is
but
because,
Don,
yes,
just
mid
on that,
chances. Yes,
how is
inexperienced.
Potter
Hold on, H. Yeah. Yes, big chances missed. Yes, inexperienced overall, right? But look what happens when you set the team up correctly. They play better as a team. Would have won a lot more games if you set us up like that. And that's what I can see Maresca doing, right? Just do some research on the guy and his principles, his philosophies, and how he likes to play. Even when we played these lot at the bridge, right? When we beat them, was it 4-2 when we beat them, right? For large parts in that game, they were just popping us about, bro. But their overall quality wasn't enough to win that game. If you remember that game, Disasi own goal. They had Mavridis scored as well that game. Do you know what I mean? So I was looking at him thinking, right, these guys are playing some good football. But I didn't really take it.
That's that Conference League Wi-Fi.
Bro, please get your computer hardwired, bro. I'm begging you, man.
Got a Weetabix box.
You know,
Yeah, I don't know if he's coming back, but
honestly,
Bro,
do
he's
some
still
research
talking.
on
Oh my
this.
gosh.
Do better than Poch.
Get an Ethernet cable. Get an Ethernet cable, please.
Please don't
You
get
will do better than
hardwired.
Poch.
This super chat here says, let alone managing a football team, Lineker is not even able to manage a bowel movement in a match. That's true. He did shit himself on the pitch. The media agenda against Target is disgusting. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of them questioning him about his future straight after the game. I thought that was the more I understand why they did it. But I do feel that it was exceedingly distasteful. Let him have his moment. Let him celebrate. It didn't need to be said there and then. When you're entering the job, the squad is yours. Useless Saka, Saliba, and Martinelli aren't Arteta's players.
Unless he said
Unless Saka, Saliba, and Martinelli aren't Arteta's players.
This is just the stupidest argument ever, because when a manager doesn't do well, people immediately jump on his back and say, "Oh, look, he didn't do well these years," and they claim, "Oh, Arteta hasn't achieved over this long period." But then when he wins something in his first 6 months, they're like, "It wasn't his team." Well, are you going to discount all the years where it wasn't his team and only say 3 years under Mikel Arteta the team hasn't been successful? What are you going to move that?
Yeah, he can't be on a 4-year trophy drought. That's the problem with those arguments is they don't stretch it out for everything. I agree with you on that. I'm actually going to buy one for Don. I'm going to get his address after the game, and I'm going to buy Don however long he needs from his modem to his computer an Ethernet cable so that his internet stays on, bro. He just needs one.
Hey, Terry, bro, listen. Bro, man's got fiber now. I've got fiber. I don't know why it's lagging like this, but I've
Do you know what?
anyway.
Are you Wi-Spot? Are you on Wi-Fi though, or you plugged it in?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You could have 1 gig up and down, right? You could have the fastest internet in the world. If you don't plug it in with an Ethernet cable, all it takes is for somebody to turn a microwave. Someone can put a microwave on and it throws your Wi-Fi off. Do you know what I mean? Like Wi-Fi is crazy.
Yeah.
For streaming anyway.
I'll plug it in after.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No worries. Let's have a look here. I feel like breaking out the popcorn is what Daniel says. Even Don's internet knows he's talking rubbish. I don't think Don is. I don't think Chelsea fans should be panicking at this point about the manager per se, especially if we don't know much about him. I think people should stay relaxed.
Terry, when I was watching,
Go plug that cable in, bruv.
Again.
Go plug that cable in.